Okay. Yeah. For me, I'm a Thai creator, but I'm trying to make the most out of it by creating content for a global audience. And sometimes that can be very difficult, especially not knowing where to begin. So I want to ask you a couple questions about what kinds of recommendations you would give to people who are just starting out. How can we, as Thai creators, right, as like a Thai creator myself, how can I branch out to work with more global clients and to work more internationally with other brands that aren't Thai? How can I maximize my exposure?
It's relationships and who you know in many ways, right? So if your bubble doesn't take you overlap with those people, why would they know to hire you? Why would they know that you exist? So networking in different circles as much as you can within reason, that can really help because there are a lot of people who are looking, let's say you're a UI UX designer or something.
Mm,
There's tons of people in Singapore, or Europe who are looking for a good, talented UI UX freelancer.
mm.
They go on Fiverr, or they go online, and there's a billion results.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're at a networking event, you overlap, you chat, boom, you have a client. Oh, let's try out working together. So networking, putting yourself out online. So we hired a video editor because this person was just they were putting video editing advice. They're like, I'm a video editor and here's some advice on how you can do your projects better.
Mm,
And I was like, yeah, they know what they're doing.
yeah.
Hired them.
Yeah.
There's a couple ways you can do that. And then working on your own, if you want to work with international clients, I've gotten so many CVs and portfolio sites that were terrible
Mm.
from people saying I'm a marketing expert and they don't know how
You want to
to.
show up for yourself. You need to show up for yourself so you can showcase the skills that you're actually broadcasting to the world that you know how to do.
And be really honest with what your real specific values that you can bring are, right?
Mm.
So I've looked at a lot of CVs over the years in Europe and then here. And someone who has, I feel like a picture helps because I can see the personality of the person that they're trying to say, hey, this is the personality I bring to the table. Because when you're looking for through 70 resumes and everybody is saying the same thing about their skill set and what they can do.
Yeah, so what can make someone stand out in a CV? You have 100 CVs. How do you pick the person you think is going to be right for your team? Because I know you recently did that.
Yeah. If you don't know how to use ChatGPT just to correct your grammar, I have no interest in hiring you because it just shows a lack of, there's a free tool out there that can literally make your grammar perfect. And then,
Mm.
and you don't know how to, you can't use that. So that shows I don't need to consider this person because I don't feel like they're going to bring a whole lot to the team. And
Especially when you're in marketing, I feel like you need to be someone who is going to know how to utilize all of these tools that are out there and really maximize the resources.
yeah, and that can still be hard to do. So get a second opinion from a friend or something like that.
Mm.
I remember when I was putting together my CVs or anytime I'm trying to write about myself, it's hard, but at least my grammar was correct. And I used a nice little Canva template for
Mm.
my portfolio or whatever. Things looked presentable. And some people, that's why I say be honest with who you are. If you're
Yeah.
not a designer and you're really good at managing events,
Then be honest with that.
be super honest
Yeah.
with, I really want to manage your events. I'm really bad at design, but I can work with the design team to make sure that the
100%.
banners look great.
And I think a lot of times people overlook how much honesty can actually give back to you. I was very honest with my boss in the very beginning. I'm like, hey, I'm not comfortable with writing professional Thai paragraphs up. Like, that's a very difficult thing for me because Thai's so complex. And especially in the Muay Thai world, you use very specific vocabulary to talk about
And then there's
different
different
events.
levels of formality in the Thai depending on who it's
Yeah.
addressed to. And yeah.
And then it's my first corporate job. Right away, I'm like me coming straight out of an international school, international program where I'm using purely English to write up my work. I quickly realized this was a skill I was missing, but I was honest about it with my boss, and she said, okay, but I know you have other strengths, so we're going to utilize those strengths and we're going to max those out instead. So I think people overlook how good honesty could be sometimes because people think, oh, you might be a little bit scared.
Sure. Bosses want someone who's going to be proactive and take action and will not give them surprises. I don't want to be surprised and find out something I assumed that you could do, you can't.
Mm,
That's going to happen. So yeah, honesty, being clear with what your real skills are.
mm,
Because again, there are a lot of people looking for jobs, and there's a lot of really good people out there who are looking for jobs that international companies would love to hire. But it's a real big risk to hire someone from overseas, English as a second language. And if you don't figure out how to put your best foot forward, you've probably missed out on that opportunity. And I want people to get those opportunities. I want
right.
people to bust those ceilings that they find themselves trapped in. And I think there's a ton of potential in Southeast Asia.
Absolutely.
I think working on your English here and then just being a kind of a little bit more aware of how you're presenting yourself and networking. And suddenly, man, yeah, you could land a really good role with a company because
Mm.
at the end of the day, they're hiring you to grow into that role, not necessarily that you're the perfect person from day one.
Give me 3 words that people should live by or follow to have the confidence in what it takes to push them out of that comfort zone a little bit. What are some of the things that they should work on or focus on? It could be anything. Any 3 words that comes to the top of your head about how to be inspired to start and to begin, just to start somewhere.
All right. Thanks for making this an easy one. Just do it. Just do it is actually a pretty good one because you can always pivot later as you've learned, right? When
Yeah.
you just said, I'm going to do it. Now, you may have gone down that road for 6 months and gone, you know what? This is not working.
Mm,
People are not interested in this kind of content. I followed a few different open doors and they didn't end up being anything, but one
yeah.
of them did.
And I feel like that's okay. I feel like people really beat themselves up about things that don't work out. But I think it's nice just to see it as you have this opportunity and it didn't work out, but something is going to work out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this one.
Don't care too much about it. Give it a good shot. Work on it. Work on it because you're passionate about it. But don't take it personally when people don't
Mm,
care or things
mm,
aren't working, or if you just literally decide with a mentor that this is not a
yeah.
path that you should keep going on and you should pivot.
Yeah. And you can't let it like disrupt like your spirit of creating
Yeah, and that you
or
have value because
mm,
the world's a big place. Everyone's clamoring for attention. No one owes you their attention. You have to earn it,
mm,
as you've learned. I've learned that with my business. No one owes me hiring me to do their marketing. I have to earn that
mm.
with a reputation or doing good work or whatever it might be. Just do it. Get good mentors. Sorry, there's more than 3 words, but
Get good mentors. There you go.
get good mentors. Just do it. And surround yourself with other people. Network, network.
Mm,
The reason why we're here today is because I reached out to Charlotte and I was like, I think this young lady is someone that there's some overlaps here.
mm,
We took her out to coffee a few months ago,
mm.
found out she was building this studio. And it's more of that just like long term, I want to be there for her. She has a lot to offer in general to
Yeah.
the community.
And I think it's good to find like-minded people who understand what it's like to hustle and to be dedicated to your craft and your business and your art and not brush it as it's just content. It's just social media. It's just you're working on something small. It is a big deal. And you want people who and you want to be around people who like uplift you and say it is a big deal, but let's get into it. Let's start.
And you want to try to find serious people as well.
Yeah.
So in the digital nomad space, there's very serious people. There's people who want to become serious, right? They're
Mm.
trying it out. And there's just a lot of weird people. Not that there's wrong with anyone who's weird. Just different people are really the right people to have at different stages of your business and your life. So you become who your friends are, that saying.
Absolutely.
Mix it up. Have some old people who have done business before. Have some young people who just have a lot of energy and just don't care.
Sounds like you and me.
And then have some people who are like, you know what? Like somewhere in the middle, right? They have enough experience, but they still have the energy and they're still pushing. Have a range of people that you associate with. Anyway, thanks so much for
Thank
coming in
you.
and having this chat today.
Yeah. Great takeaways from today's conversation.